Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Limitless Gaming Esports for another season of RTG. Yes, you've heard it right. We've even had a week break, and we're back for season 11. But for the first time, I think, the first time they've ever had it on a Wednesday night. It's the exact same format as we had just the Sunday just gone. We're pretty much the same faces on track, with a few new additions. Unfortunately, I don't know who the full-time drivers are and who are not. I'm sure actually I could get that up in just a second for you. But as you can see, if you're familiar with your circuits, we're on board with Matty Jones in the Mercedes. We're at Shanghai International Circuit in China, of course. Not been here since 2019. It can be a certain fan favourite for drivers. And it's certainly one where we can see a decent amount of overtakes. We've got 16 corners on this circuit, and it's 5.451 kilometres in length and 3.387 miles in length. And it's got the two DRS zones around this circuit between turn 14 and turn 1, and turn 13 and turns 14, which we're getting up to now on board with Matty Jones. We have got our newly crowned champion in the starting lineup for this season and for this first race edition. We've got 18 drivers, but Lee, is Short Marcus early predictions? Is he going to make it on the bounce for championships?
I think it's too early to say, but we could find out. I mean, we know he's definitely got the potential to get some good points. But yeah, we've got a few new faces here as well, like Phil and Jesper. We'll need to and Nixa. So we'll see how they guys are going to be doing.
Yeah,
for the competition. There's someone wrecking the commentary box.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just bear with me a second, and I will tell you. No, they haven't actually put up a new driver lineup for Wednesday just yet, not by the looks of things. So unfortunately, I can't give you that. But as you said, as Lee said, there are a few fresh faces on the grid.
Yep, so back. Jesper is full-time in Aston Martin.
Yeah.
This is full-time.
Of course, we've had drivers change cars as well for the season. For example, Short Marcus was in the Red Bull last season, in the Williams for this year, as he does his first lap on the intermediates. I'm going to actually DM, I think, a couple of these drivers and ask why they do this in the first part of qualifying, because I really can't understand why they do it. Maybe just to get themselves a delta, maybe, but it's not really a representative delta. But said we'll try and find out for either tomorrow or next week why they do that.
Yeah, it would be quite interesting to know. Is it isn't really a really good idea, I would think. It just seems like they're wasting a bit of time, but we've seen the first time being put on the board with a Mercedes man of Matty Jones, 134.581. And Chuckle first of the intermediate runners on the dry track, 137.8. AJ Baker intermediates with 138.333.
134.5 for Bugatti as well. And then Faulkner, 134.346.
Okay, 134.4. Same truck coming around the final corner in the Ferrari, comes across the line. Oh, that's his alt lap. It does that thing again.
Oh, yeah, hopefully they get that sorted for next game. And I think what we were talking about last season, a few weeks ago, about the updated sort of graphics for standings and things on spectator mode. I think that is all going to be updated for next year and added to. We think it looks like it's going to go that way, especially with what they've done with what we've seen with the timing graphs on the onboard shots of actually them in the cars. So
yeah, I mean, it does look really interesting, like the way the heads-up display is looking, and it's looking like
touch wood, not confirmed.
Yeah. We'll have to wait properly until the final product, I would say, as we'll have had in the past, not saying specifically F1 games, but games in the past where trailers have been totally different from the actual gameplay experience.
Yeah, not. I don't think so much in the F1 games. I think they've been pretty true to what they. Yeah, pretty true to what they are. But obviously, we haven't actually seen that aspect yet. May do. Might see it from some content creators when they get some early access and get to show it off. They might be able to tell us, might not be able to show us. But as Lee says, we've only got really 4 weeks to wait as Chuck goes on to provisional pole by just over a second.
Jeez.
Yeah, well, I really appreciate the speed of some of these drivers at the front that have actually started to take part in their Monday tier, and not ashamed to say I qualified 17 out of 18. It would have technically been last, but Proddy got disqualified in the session, so he started behind me. Midfield was really close, so I was saying to Lee earlier, I think it was just over half a second between about 10, 12 drivers, so not a lot of margin for error if you're doing a decent lap. But yeah, really appreciate it. Admittedly, I haven't played the game for a long time. There's my excuse in. Hopefully I'll get a bit better. But we are, as well, uniquely for this season, going to go from game to game. So in one season, we're technically driving 2 different cars.
So that's going to be interesting. We could see this season just shake up completely near the end on the latter half of the season as well. Some of these guys like Chuck and Chuckle, Matthew and such.
Yeah, well, I
could struggle. Maybe.
I also think people getting the early access may increase in the RTG league with people who are on the fence about getting the early edition. If you're racing full time, and especially if you're in the top half or the top 5, top 6, and the field's not too spread out in championship order, I think drivers will be inclined, if they can afford it, to buy the Champions Edition, which gives you, I think, 3 days early access. So that'll also be interesting to see. We will have a week break as well between. Let me just bear with me. We have got the race calendar, so of course we're at Shanghai tonight, as we lose Lee as a custom on every stream, so we'll just talk about ourselves. We've got Shanghai tonight, then we're going over to Northern Europe, to Zandvoort in the Netherlands, and at round 5, so literally at the halfway stage, we're going to have a week off, and that will make it certainly very interesting. The other things I've noticed about Wednesday, there isn't any sprints in Wednesday, but the 5th race is, I think, going to be 100% race distance. So it might be double points, it might not be. I'll have to wait and see. As Lee says, internet's gone down, so hopefully we'll be able to get back in ASAP. So watch this space as Jesper goes off the track at the final corner. So yeah, Lee, if you're still listening, I think Monza round 5 is 100% race distance. So slightly different. As we'll watch Phil make his way around turn 16. Just started his lap, actually. There's that little glitch. We do know that Yeah, iNexus. I was just thinking about how to say it. iNexus is the next driver to set a lap. I don't think I've seen him before, but yeah, we'll see if he can get a good lap in as he makes his way around the final corner. Moves up into 9th with a 1:34.771. Lee Craig is going to be the next man. I think we just had AJ Baker there set a better lap time, moving himself up into 3rd place. Lee Craig then goes 4th with a 1:33.921. As Josh McGill has invalidated his previous lap and now his current lap. And as we're watching Phil come around the banking of turn 13, as we've got this just over 1 kilometre straight before we slam on the anchors for turn 14 and 15. It's a 2-corner really, a bit like Bahrain I suppose, but just a bit tighter than the final 2 corners there. See, it sort of just opens up, kind of the same as Bahrain. As we go around the very fast left-hander, and then we stay to the right towards the line to get the best lap time. Moves up to 6th on his first attempt. So we've had every driver bar one set a lap time now. 2 of those drivers in the 140s, so sure to set better times. As Jasper says the war. Sorry, Jasper. I keep saying Jasper. Jasper just said the wall was calling him, so he had to see what he wanted, or something to that effect. So we watch iNexus into the pits as Phil is about to start his first lap. Oh, sorry, his next lap. He's already set a lap, as we've only had Josh McGill not set a lap time, and I think he's just about to go on. He's just gone on his first run as well. Watch Phil exit turn 4, quite a difficult corner on the exit for the right foot. It's easy to get the tail out too much and be facing the wrong direction as he makes his way around the hairpin of turn 6, and now the S section of 7, 8 and 9 as we go into a double left-hander, double 90-degree left-hander. Here we go. Get it out wide, but we stick it back in for turn 10, and now we've got this short stretch down towards turn 11 and 12 and onto the banking of 13, which is quite a unique feature of this circuit as we now make our way around, sort of staying slightly right but more towards the middle of the track, not trying to hit the apex so much, so we can get some better straight line speed down this back straight. DRS wide open. We're going to be hitting about 205 miles an hour before we hit the brakes as he makes his way around the penultimate corner. As I said, into this quick left-hander, which is easy to invalidate as well on the outside. If you take a little bit too much entry speed, there's usually a bollard there, but that usually gets knocked away quite quickly into a session. So Josh McGill back into the pit lane. And still not yet set a lap. So the driver about to start his final attempt potentially with the fuel he has on board. This is going to be a final attempt, and as well as time on the board as Jasper makes his way into the other equally unique circuit, or maybe even more. It's a one-of-a-kind corner. This is a double corner as we exit turn 2 and through turn 3, and then carries towards turn 4, and then we've got this short dash towards turn 6 through the kink of 5, and then we get over to the left hand side before we hit the left pedal and then make our way out and up towards turn 7 and 8. You want to get the car tucked in as much as you can, which he somewhat struggles to do. His cars are terribly understeery in F1 22, and as I said, I hadn't played the game for a long time. Started playing over the weekend to race an RTG on Monday, which is on Short Marcus's channel. I'll try and find it at the end, what his channel name is called officially, so you can look up his streams. If you don't check those ones out from the Monday tier of RTG, 2 tiers covered on the LGE channel, and Short Marcus' channel covers the third on a Monday, and he'll be back tomorrow for a full qualifying session. Not sure what circuit it is, I'll check that out before we finish the stream as well. So we've got just under 2 minutes to go in the session, and Jesper has got one corner to make as we get Lee back into the session. His internet's back up and running, hopefully, touch with fingers crossed, to 5th place. It's 4th and 5th for the Aston Martins as it stands, as now it's 5th and 6th, as we've got Chuckle just sneaking in for provisional pole right towards the end of this session. We've got Josh McGill on an outlap, about to start his final attempt to get a lap time in. A short Marcus crossing the line, setting a 1:33.8. We've got a Merc crossing the line now. Matty Jones, that was a 34.311. We've got a Haas behind him, and I think he's just started his first lap. And I think that will be Phil. We're just trying to work out how that works here. It's the 36 car Haas car of Phil. And so, Lee, I'm assuming we have you back now, hopefully. Your internet's
Yep.
good.
Yeah, apologies about that. Like clockwork, as always.
Yeah, I said that just as you left. I said this is like a tradition now. I thought we'd have left it from last season, Lee, but no, you decided to carry it on.
Yeah, don't blame me. It's not my fault. The internet's just... Yeah.
So 4 of the top 5, Lee. Well, Chuckle has also finished this lap, actually. So really, the top 5 are done now. They're not going to improve. Short Marcus as well, I think, is finished. Jesper as well. So we've got to work out who's up next. We've got Aki having a tow from his teammate. That could improve his lap time in this final stage of qualifying, as he's about to come through the final corner of turn 16. It's easy to invalidate, but kept it well within track limits and moves up to 3rd place. It's Haas, it's Alfa Romeo, Ferrari in the top 4 positions. We've got Josh McGill, not still a lap time just yet. Is he going to be able to do one now? I think he is. And where's it going to put him? On pole for China. It's a last gasp attempt, and it looks like it may be his day on the first day of the season. It's Chicken and Blunt crosses the line, moves up to 10th place. And I think, apart from Nexa, who's dived into the pits, that's it. Josh McGill, with one and only lap, has put it on pole for China by 0.4 of a second.
Must have been pretty confident coming into the qualifying to be able to just know that you could just set the one lap and get it enough to get through, and then some. So well done to him.
One second, the hay fever issues.
Goes in tight. So, that is the end of the first of 3 qualifying sessions. We'll be moving on to the second in just a few moments. So, the people that have been eliminated from this qualifying
I thought
session.
it was short qualifying.
No.
Oh, is it both full qualifying now?
Yep.
Oh, now why didn't you tell me? I didn't actually know. I'm blaming him. I should blame myself, really. I should blame myself, really, because I've just said he put it on pole. Oh my god.
So, one's been eliminated as Bugatti, Sullivan and Nixa. So, Matty Jones just narrowly getting through there. Not been much, really, to be honest.
Sorry, I'm just holding my head in shame at the minute.
Can't believe you thought it was just short.
Okay, so just laugh about it, Joe. You might cry. Q2 then. I was not told this. I feel like I've been put into a false sense of security.
Oh, I just kind of.
So you didn't mention it at the start when I said it was the same format. To be fair, I didn't notice it's a Q1, but I don't really ever look at that. Anyway, okay. Q2. So, okay. Restart. Welcome, everyone. So it's actually a full qualifying session that Joe didn't realise was actually going on. Well done. Well done, Joe. So now we've got 15 minutes with 15 drivers, and we've had 5 drivers knocked out. I'm telling myself that because I haven't paid attention.
So.
Joe thinks it's short qualifying. She's going to be surprised that I'm gone for almost 2 hours.
What's she doing? But,
I didn't realise this. I think I need to open up negotiations about my. No, I need to talk to the boss man and renegotiate my contract. I didn't realise this was the case.
So,
I think I need a commentator's bonus. Chocolates will do.
So, there was something that you were telling me just earlier on, I remember, about the Grand Prix at the weekend.
Oh, the fact that it's now a boat race.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not happening, is it? It's fair enough, though. Like, I've watched a couple of videos since, and I've seen like the state of Faenza, the town next to Imola, and it's bad.
Yeah.
It's like there's 3 people that have died already, apparently. So I'm not surprised. And Formula One said that they didn't want to put more stress on emergency services than they already have. They didn't think it was fair, which is fair enough.
That's understandable, yeah.
And at least they cancelled it a couple of days before fans, got to the gates like they did in Australia in 2020. I know that was different, but
yeah.
But at least they did it a couple of days before. Like, people might not have, flown over from other parts of Europe or wherever they were coming from. So they were probably doing that today or tomorrow, more likely tomorrow. So I'm sure they'll give them refunds as well, or they'll give them free tickets for next year. It's just a shame about the flights and things. But I suppose if it was me, I would just go, well, I'm just going on a holiday to Italy for a few days then. Bit of a bummer, but you can't just not. I wouldn't think you could just not go.
True, but would you be able to still go with the planes and that would still be on?
I suppose it depends how good the runway is, isn't
it? Yeah, true.
Like in the air, I think you're pretty much all right. I don't think you're going to get flooded in the air. Unlikely. Unlikely. I'm just talking nonsense, by the way, because I'm still getting over the fact that I got all excited because I thought that was the end of qualifying and Josh McGill was on pole, and Lee just came along and popped that balloon. Well, I did it myself, actually. But so this is turned into the Joe and Lee watching an F1 race podcast for the time being. Hope you enjoy. Huh?
Awesome sauce.
Awesome sauce. Should we make a podcast and call it Awesome Sauce?
I think I'll probably do something for the show.
No, not anymore. I've decided it's mine now.
It's been stolen.
as Lee Craig doesn't put it on provisional poll. It's actually first place in Q2. That's like my forbidden rule that I've broken. I'm sorry if you can hear in my voice at the minute, but I'm having a little teenage tantrum inside my head. As
it all goes pole.
Yeah, it does. Like if we have, which I'm thinking of doing this year, being a bit more proactive on the YouTube channel with like uploads and things about these races. If we have moments of the season, at the end of the season, I feel like I already know what number one is.
Yeah.
Unless we have some sort of mad last lap or a couple of laps before the end win at the end of the season, then yeah, it took only 18 minutes for the best and funniest thing to have happened this season, and it was me. And I didn't even mean to do it. Right, okay, I think I've had my moment of self-loathing as we see Vil go into 5th place with a 1:34.003.
Some short markers there. Take that last corner. Kind of missed the apex there.
Was he a bit short?
He's a bit short. But yeah, he only puts 133.8 in. I reckon he's got a bit more in the tank there.
Here's a question for you, Lee.
Shoot.
How short is short Marcus?
I don't know.
Well, you should.
Unless he's quite short.
I mean, you can't tell in the car, can you? Because it's not actually him. It's like if you watch that Ready Player One. I don't know why I'm still. You ever watch that film? Yeah. Be like, I've just imagined like life was just that. Then like, he's actually in the car. So I promise we will get back to it. Also, hay fever, horrible. It's driving me mad today. As we watch Chuck just making his way down the back straight. So it's at the start of the stream then. It's kind of a driver's favourite. This is one of your favourites, isn't it? Or is this one of your favourites because you got a really good win here?
Yeah, I would say probably the latter, to be honest, that's all. It's not really one of my favourite tracks, but it is a good track nonetheless, I would say.
Turn 13 on F122 though is horrendous. There's no other word for it.
Yes.
Actually, no, there is. There's a C word for it, but I'm not going to say it because it's not appropriate timing. But yeah.
Crap.
No. Am I still seeing you next Tuesday?
Oh, right. Yep.
Yeah, that's what it is. As we watched Chuck go through the first sector. It says he's got a purple sector. I do think, talking about the graphics, Lee, I don't know if you got it up. I have. You've just seen it on the stream a minute ago anyway. But it has, top right with the sector time and the position in the tyres.
Yep.
As Chuck spins at turn 10. Sorry, I was looking up at the screen. I didn't actually notice that. He has got a driver coming through though behind him. And Merck, I think that is Matty Jones. It is. Yeah, the top right. I think we're actually going to get the 3 sector bars now with the colours.
Ooh.
So at least I think I know we have that.
Nice one.
Which, and hopefully it won't lie, and just every time you go through it, it'll be purple.
I mean, it would be good if it, like, instead of being purple, it would just be like green. Like, for your personal best through that sector.
Yeah.
But no, it likes to give everyone false hope, I would say.
Yes, it does. And it does do it as well when you're driving. I don't really pay attention to it because I try not to. Like, obviously, you can tell if it's green or red. You can just see it in the corner of your eye, but I don't. You drive in cockpit mode, I don't. So I drive literally to what you're seeing now, like on board, more central than this. But yeah, this kind of view. but you can see it on your dash, can't you? So it's quite hard not to look at it because it's like right in front of your eye line, isn't it?
I mean, see, when I'm in cockpit mode, I can just looking at my screen. Like if I've already like got the delta, then you could see it, like how much you're up or down, and it actually fluctuates depending on like where you are, like how
Yeah.
your lap is and that.
Yeah.
Just below where the gears are. So it is very useful, I would say, because you've got a lot of data up on that wee screen.
Of course, the other thing as well, I'm sure you've seen the trailers. What do you think it's being in cockpit mode? Do you like the updated, like, screen on the dash?
I don't think I've seen that actually yet.
Have you not?
No, I don't think I've seen the.
It's got so the batteries are a much thicker bar now, like like width-wise, like on the dash, and it's got 3 colours. So the top sort of quarter is green, and then you've got like the middle third that's amber, and then the bottom like 20% that's in the red.
Yeah, so it's basically like a traffic light system for it.
Yeah. But the bar does move, of course, down. But
yeah.
Wait there. If you... Oh, where is... Oh.
Think so.
Bear with me a second.
I'll get back to this for the time being, while Joe does whatever he does best. And AJ Baker is on a lap now. He's 0.6 up on his lap. He's just in the drop zone in 11th place. So at the moment he will not be going through unless he can improve on his lap. Let's see what he is going to be capable of as he's just coming around the final corner now. Gets right over on that apex, nicely done there from him, and he goes up to P3 with 133.661. Let's see, Chuckle just coming through turn 11 now. Into 12 out the terrible turn 13. Onto this back straight. Just stretches on for, what was that, a good, 1.3 mile or something like that? I have no idea. Something like that anyway, or a kilometre maybe. But yeah, so Chuckle just comes around the final corner now. We'll see what time he's going to be able to put on the board. 32.9 puts that into first place. Nicely done from Chuckle in the Alfa Romeo. We've got Chuck on his lap now. He's just coming into turn 7 now. Turn 6, sorry, my mistake. Into 7 now. There's a Mercedes on the outside there, staying right out the way. Yellow flag in sector 2 and 3. I wonder what's happened there. Everything seems to be all good now, though. Do we have Joe back? Or are you still sneezing? Seems he may still be sneezing. Or he's forgot his thingy is on mute. Maybe, I don't know.
No, sorry, I'm really sorry. I had something I had to do very quickly.
All good then. Well, we've got Chuck just coming around the final corner now, and we'll be able to see what the Ferrari man is going to be able to do. He takes that apex nicely, using up as much of the track as possible, goes across the line, 133.7, puts into 5th place.
Decent lap time from the Ferrari driver there.
Saying Phil and the Haas is invalidated. We've got Aki just coming around turn 13 now. We'll see how Aki is going to do at the front. Is he going to be able to get out of the danger zone or not? We know he's going to be dropping if he can't improve. Jones has had enough, and Aki puts it into second place. Got an Alfa Romeo 1-2 right now, 133.1 for Aki. Jesper coming around the final corner to finish his lap. Oh, and he gets a little bit shaky at the exit, but he manages to just get into 9th place, just 1,000th of a second behind 8th place Chuck, who's on a lap now.
Chicken and Blunts is on the lap as well. The only man that can now get himself out of the bottom 5 if Matty Jones is retired. The other 3 have now had the checker flag waved. But Chicken and Blunt started his lap very, very late on in the session. That's why you're seeing him only in sector 2 right now as he makes his way down towards turn 11. Quite a difficult corner to get right. It's uphill, and then the right-hander here at turn 12 also equally difficult as well as turn 13. That whole complex there, it's just steady with the right pedal. Just make sure to get it going down this back straight with the DRS wide open, like I said, depending on your downforce levels. We should be getting up to sort of a 205 mile an hour, about 330 kilometers an hour as we hit the brakes for turn 14, sorry, and 15, and as we go into turn 16 now. As I was saying, Lee, I never actually, I don't know if you heard on the stream before, I never actually put the two together, apart from obviously the ones a hairpin, but the corner exit, the final 2 corners at Bahrain and the exit at the end of the back straight are very similar actually. Like the way they're angled is they're supposedly 2 corners.
Yeah, so it's like 2 and 1 pretty much.
Yeah.
It's weird, like, it's like turn 12 and 13 here. It's like, cause it's like 2 corners, isn't it?
Well, it's the other one. There's a lot of corners on this circuit that are very love and hate. Like turn 1 and 2 is very difficult. Turn 3 and 4 is difficult on the exit. Turn 13, 11, 12, 13.
I've got to say, the first couple of corners here I do quite like. I'm not going to lie. Like sector 1.
I quite like them as well, to be honest. So at the end of that qualifying session, of course, the bottom 5 have been lost. The top 3 in that session were Chuckle, Matthew and Aki. And we lose Matty Jones, Vil, Chicken and Blunt, who ends up 13th, Teachman 14th, and Phil finished 15th. And that's, of course, where those drivers will be starting in around 15 minutes' time as we get on to Q3 and the top 10 shootout. Yeah, no, I was saying before, like, there's a lot of unique corners here. What?
I'm sorry, I just noticed Josh McGill put a message into the chat on Discord.
Oh no.
Saying, Kings, hopefully you feel like Pole needs to happen now to save the stream. That reaction at the end of Q1 was unbelievable.
Oh, I hate my life. I'm only joking. As we wait to see drivers come out on track, they're like, I hadn't done it for ages. Like I thought about it before, like forgetting which days were which. I'd always check if it's a Q1 or just it just says Q, doesn't it, for short qualifying? Or does it say SQ?
It just says Q.
Q.
So it's qualifying.
Yeah, and I didn't look. Maybe I did and I didn't know. Yes. But anyway, Josh, yes, you have to put it on poll. I'm not biased. I'm not. It's just for this stream, just to make me look a bit better. It's my own personal gain here, Josh.
Just cut the audio. And just
I might slip you a 20 if you do it. So, so if you wait for it, that doesn't mean if anyone gets on poll, they get 20 quid off me, alright? It doesn't actually mean Josh does either, I'm just saying it, figuratively speaking. I don't want poor old Josh to think I owe him money.
Terms and conditions applied.
Terms and conditions applied. The fact that it's not true. No, I'm going to start. I think I'm going to start doing moments of the week video for RTG, and I'm going to use Short Marcus' stream as well to do it. I'm going to speak to some potentially an admin. I'm kind of asking now, I suppose, to put an extra channel into their Discord where you can kind of pick out, you know, if it's your own or other people's moments of the week, just to make my life a little bit easier, to be honest. So me being saying biased, I'm picking so similar people every week, which could happen. Not saying it would, but I could just do it self-consciously. We've got every driver on and out that now. Yeah, we might do moments of the week, but I do think I said it's maybe one at the end of the season as well. But we'll have to wait and see.
So first up is going to be AJ Baker, and then
Matthew.
It's Matthew, yep.
And then it's Lee Craig.
Then Josh McGill. Then Aston Martin of Jasper. So see how AJ Baker is going to do is he's coming around 7 now.
Yeah, turn 7 and 8, I do like these two corners, especially this bit here where we go into turn 9. It's quite tricky to get the car right over to the right before you go into the left. And you've got this short straight here, which especially nowadays on other tracks, that would be a DRS straight, to be honest. But it probably would be if Shanghai was on the circuit, on the calendar this year, that circuit would have a DRS straight there, I think. But of course, we've still only got the 2, a long DRS straight. It's a really good place to go for an overtake here. So a really slow hairpin. You see a few die. You saw it a couple of times on the LGE channel. Formerly, I believe it doesn't run at the time being. I don't think it will again. But the old League LFR. There was certainly a few. Can you remember there? A few daring moves into that hairpin.
Oh yes. Oh, Matthew putting it on pole for the time being. 132.8 as AJ Baker puts in his first time with a 133.2. Josh McGill.
Put it on to provisional pole. There we go. I feel a bit better.
So we've got Chuck coming across the line with P5 with a 134.017. He's just coming around the final corner now. We're going to see what the other Alfa Romeo's going to do. Goes P5 with a 133.9, knocking Chuck down into 6th place.
We've got Chuckle up next. Made his way around turn 16, then to the right hand side at the pit wall. And he moves into 2nd place. Short Marcus crosses the line to start. Oh no, he did finish the lap. I think it was invalidated, yeah. And Proddy has also invalidated lap time, so early on the stream, got quite unlucky on Monday, just trying to get out of the way of cars and got disqualified. It's one of the big problems. Those are one of the big problems about F122. We hope are sorted for next season. I think that was happening online and offline actually. So.
Yeah, I think that was one thing that did annoy me at times is like when there's like you're on your flying lap and it's like it doesn't tell the car in front to like get it out of the way pretty much, and well they don't know when they're on like a slow lap.
They're introducing red flags, so I hope they kind of Well, there's two flags, isn't there? There's two flags for it. You can either use a blue flag, or the other one would technically be a white flag. You know, a white flag means a slow-moving car ahead. So, and as I think we've talked about this before, and I'm not a coder. I'm not saying it's easy, but I just thought of an easy idea to keep, you know, because when people say, yeah, but how are they going to know that we're on a cool-down lap or an in-lap?
When you say box on this lap.
Yeah, or either that, or I thought when you put your ERS or your fuel, or both, or whatever, into none, that classes you as a slow-moving car.
Yeah. But, hey-ho.
But it could do it automatically for you, of course, because it does when you have it in lean before you go across the line. So it could just keep it in none when you're on on your out lap.
Yeah, of course.
And it keep the hot lap in the battery, which I'm surprised it doesn't just do it automatically for you, because there's been so many times where I've gone to start a lap, I don't know about you, and I've left it in hot lap the whole out lap, and I'm like, oh no. I've probably only just got enough to do a lap with this.
And you're like, shit.
And learning from this league as well, I did it on Monday, the neutral thing with the battery. Oh, it works.
Yeah?
Yes.
Oh.
Because I did a cool down lap and went again for another lap at Hungary in the short qualifying session we have on Monday. So, as we say, week in, week out, and it's moving on to season 11. It's the quiet before the storm, as we now are about to see an Aston Martin appear from the garage. It's probably going to be Proddy because he hasn't set a lap time yet, so he's going to be eager to get a lap in. It is. He makes his way now around turn 1, and it's quite a sketchy pit exit here as well, Lee, because you sort of pop out right before the racing line as you turn in for turn 1.
Yeah, I mean, the same could be said for, like, Monza, for instance, as well. And Bahrain, I would say. It's not the best pit exit, I would say. Just right out there is quite dangerous, I would say, and could potentially end up causing a big crash. I mean, we've seen something similar like that at Monza. Was it last year? Year before?
What, Hamilton and Verstappen?
Yeah.
Yeah. The other problem to that is there was two big other reasons. One being that sausage curve. You know, the big orange sausage curves, and I also agree they're really silly and they shouldn't actually be a thing, really.
Yeah.
And the other one being Max Verstappen's an idiot. No, I'm joking. The corner's very tight as well, I would say. It's quite difficult for cars to go side by side through there, especially when you're coming out of the pit lane. But what can you do?
But we've seen Prodigy on his lap now, just coming into turn 2 now. Or wait, is that one or two?
That is turn 3 into turn 4. So actually, this kink
God.
that's turn 5, and this is turn 6. So turn 1 and 2 is what we consider probably to be turn 1. Like, when you go around the first bit and then the apex, that's turn 2. Turn 3 is the next apex on the left, and then the outer part of that corner is turn 4.
That's just confusing.
Yeah, I know, I don't understand. But it's like Jeddah, isn't it? Jeddah's just over the top as well. It doesn't need to be as many corners as it is. Like between turns 20, what is it?
22 to 25.
Well, 22 and 23 are corners. 24 is a corner, but then 25 and 26 aren't corners. It's just a curve.
No, it's just, bro, like...
It's like Austria saying turn 2 is turn... When they say turn 2 is turn 3 is really turn 2.
Yeah.
But it was only turn 2 because of MotoGP, because it is a corner for motorbikes, but now they put the chicane in. So it's not even turn 3 anymore for them because they do a different layout to Formula 1. As we watch Poddy come across the line, he goes second fastest with a 132.4. 300ths of a second, just under 300ths of a second behind Josh McGill, who is on an outlap. Aki is going to be the first driver, I think, to now set a lap in this queue of cars that are just about to come down the back straight. And then it's going to be Josh McGill. No, I think it's going to be Chucker, actually. He's got Josh McGill quite close behind him, so Josh is going to have to back up a little bit for his final attempt. So who have we got? I think we've got Aki. Yeah, Aki was up first. He makes his way out of turn 4, which is really turn 3. Makes his way through the kink of turn 5 as we hit the brakes for turn 6. Try and get the best rotation at the front end as you can to get the best straight line speed before we get into turns 7 and 8. He gets himself back over to the right hand side for the double left hander at 9 and 10 as we make our way down the short stretch of turn 11. He's 4/10 up on his time. The checker flag is now out. We've got Proddy in the pits who set his lap first off and decided to have a clear track ahead of him, so he has no problems with traffic as we watch actually come into the penultimate corner. I should say that actually. It's the third to last. Now we're into the penultimate corner. It's now down towards turn 16. Who's next, Lee?
It will be the teammate, and it will be Chuckle, and the other Alfa Romeo who's just coming around the final.
Aki. Yeah, Aki's on 6.
Going Chuckle across the line.
Goes second fastest. Josh McGill's off the road, so I don't think he's going to go any faster. He does go faster and stays on provisional pole, but he's got drivers behind going faster again as we see Lee Craig cross the line, and now we see Chuck cross the line, finishing his lap with a 1:33.043. Short Marcus crosses the line, goes 5th. Josh McGill is on pole. It was predicted in Q1 by me, and he saved my bacon a little bit there.
Yep, it appears that he has, but he will say when Chuckle crossed the line there, he was only 6,000ths of a second off of Josh McGill's original time. So quite close there on the top 3, I would say. And then between Chuck and Lee Craig, 1,000th of a second. My God.
Would you just do the final order for Q3,
Yep,
Lee?
so we quick run down there. Josh McGill managing to get that pole position there nicely there. Chuckle in P2, Prodigy P3, Matthew P4, Short Marcus 5th, Chuck 6th, 7th was Lee Craig, AJ Baker in 8th, 9th was Aki, and Jesper is 10th. So we'll be moving on to the main event, which shall be the race in just a few short moments.
And I think we're talking 26 laps, I think. 26, 7, something like that.
Yeah, 26, I think.
And of course, like Imola, this race was cancelled for this season due to still COVID-19 in China. Hopefully be back next year. It is back in the game for F123 as well, including Paul Ricard, which I don't think is going to get used very much. So it's not really a very good circuit. And the other one is Portimao, which I do still find a bit of a shame that we don't go there anymore. So we do have a minute wait. All we should have done, I think someone may have pressed that a little too soon. So as we're about to get the formation lap underway, we'll check out the tyres that everyone has chosen. The top two are on hards, Lee, then followed by two drivers on the medium, so third and fourth, fifth and sixth are on the hards again. Then a medium tyre for seventh place, Lee Craig and AJ Baker in eighth is on the hard tyre. Then we've got four drivers behind them down to 12th on the medium tyre as well. And 13th hards for Chicken and Blunt. TJ Man is on the hard tyre, medium tyres. On the medium tyres. Phil's on the hard tyres. Faulkner on the mediums. Hards for Bugatti, and Nexa is on the mediums. So pretty much 50-50 split, as we see two drivers get disqualified from the session, potentially making contact with each other. I think that's the only reason why they would have been disqualified. Are you there, Lee?
Oh, there we go. I had the mic on mute, sorry. But yeah, I think it's funny, like, when you get disqualified from, like, the formation laps, like, he hurt me, well, he hurt me. It's like, Betty, it's time out. That's it. Get back.
A little bit. It's definitely a bit of a slap on the wrist. So it's 28 laps, Lee, so we were a bit short. I know it's a sort of a medium length circuit. It's not the longest, and it's nowhere near the shortest circuit. Of course, the Tilke circuits, they're usually similar in length. On very quick topic of circuits, Lee, have you seen the new circuit that is opened in Hungary this week?
New circuit?
Yeah, it's a Grade A circuit, and it could potentially be the new home for Formula 1 in Hungary in the coming years. And it looks very good.
Quite wide?
Wide, got a long back straight, similar length to China. Got a couple of like bus stop chicanes in there. It's good.
Nice.
Have a look. I'll send you a link after the race. You can have a look. So we know the tyres for everyone. We'll get the position changed up as we usually do. We've had a few drivers doing their pirouettes to warm their tyres up before we get underway. As we see the Williams there, very dramatically now having to... How's he going to get into his grid spot? I'm not sure what grid spot he's actually in. He's having to reverse back. This is very bizarre. I've never seen that before in F1 22 since we've had the new pit stop, the pit grid positions, as we've got 3 red lights, 4 and 5. It's a new season for RTG, and we're away in China. And Josh McGill looking like he's getting a decent start on the hard tyres, but Proddy on the mediums just flies around the outside as we now go down into turn 1 and now back uphill towards turn 2. It's seeming like most drivers have been quite well behaved there, and Shortmark is trying to go up the inside of Josh McGill, who's now lost 3 places at the start. Proddy's up 2, as well as Shortmark is the champion, still trying to hold on as he maybe was slightly too aggressive on Josh McGill now, and Josh now going to try and fight back as we go into turn 7. Side by side they go, both on that white walled hard tyre, and now they're going to try and go side by side or not. They're going to go single file through turn 8 and now into turn 9 as Matthew wants to have a peep up the inside, but he's had to hold back for a little while longer. We've got the McLarens side by side, Liz. Teach gets very late on the brakes, and then the other McLaren tries to squeeze him to the outside, and Teach then does it back to him, and now Jesper, the the Swede is going to try and out-drag him towards turn 14. Been mainly well behaved though, Lee, on the first lap.
Yep, I will say the straight line speed of the Aston Martin quite good, but then we've seen Tiedemann getting onto brakes that little bit later, and the acceleration that he gets out of corner there, nicely done there, man, just to hold on to that 10th position. And I think that's the board's messing up a little, I think. We've got Tiedemann and Jesper side by side, Jesper on the inside for turns 1 and 2. But then that's going to switch around and Tiedemann is going to have the inside on Jesper. See what's going to happen. Oh, it's like Jesper's managing to make the move around the outside, nicely done. It looks like Tiedemann's desperate to get back on the attack.
Does look like the case, but Proddy, however, he's almost 2.5 seconds in the lead. He's started to take control of this race, and we're only on the second lap. But the drivers behind, all nose to tail, all the way down to 12th place. When I say that, actually gets further down. It's just the problem with the standings we've got at the moment.
Yeah, well, it appears all the way down to 15th. It's just a train, Chicken Blunts, Faulkner and Bugatti all separate a little bit. No one has hit anyway, so that means no be able to see any damage. Josh McGill and Matthew are battling out. Josh McGill managing, he just got past him there. Footage is flying on them yellow wall Pirellis.
It certainly seems like it was the tyre to go for at the start. Of course, the hard tyre this game has been quite a good tyre for racing. So you can survive the first 3 or 4 laps on that hard tyre. It does seem to come into its own eventually and just become quite a strong tyre. I know that from Monday as well, that the hard tyre was actually a pretty decent tyre towards the midpoint of that stint.
Yeah, that would be when it starts to clip on for you pretty much, and the mediums will start to fall off the cliff a little bit.
But of course, what Proddy's doing at the moment is a really, really smart idea, just trying to use everything he's got in the tyre at the start of the stint, or a lot of it, and create that gap, and then hopefully be able to just maintain it enough. Obviously, it will come down towards the end of the stint, but just enough so you can still control the race. Around the banking we go in turn 13, and Matthew is just swooped around the outside, but they both do have the DRS. Josh now pulling out of the toe and having to go the long way round as we make the dive into 14. Only just enough space, almost clipping the Williams ahead was Matthew, but now as we make our way out of the corner is Jesper and Lee Krager also fighting through turn 14, and some drivers towards the back of the field as well as we now go across the start and finish line to start the 4th lap. Got DRS down this straight as well towards turn 1 as Josh is now going to try and go around the outside again. The hard tyre still probably not the best tyre at the moment, and seems that way as we go further back. The Mercedes and the Aston Martin fighting tooth and nail at the moment as we go around turn 3 and on towards turn 4. This battle may come to a stalemate after this corner. Usually the one on the inside gets the corner, and that is the case as we make our way into turn 7.
That was a great battle in there from Lee Craig and Jesper there. Managing to hold off that 9th position there. This battle for 4th position as well. Oh, you see Matthew with a big lock up there as he's trying to get that 3rd position there and get onto the podium.
Chuckle has gone wide out of turn 12, on the exit of turn 12. He got on the curb before he went into the banking of turn 13. He's not going to have the DRS. He's got Josh behind him as well. He's trying to gain positions after that pole position at the start of the Grand Prix as he now goes as they all go into turn 14. Matthew on the inside, Josh on the inside. Matthew moves up into second place. Josh is still trying to hold it around the outside, has to slot back in third place. And now, apologies if you can see that on your screen. I've got to turn the speech thing on the PlayStation off. I turned it on the other day and it keeps going off even though I'm not saying the PS word. Anyway, so it's all come to, yeah, it just comes off on the screen. I did it the other day as well. As we make our way down towards turn 6, I've seen Chuckle either going a bit wide, just he didn't catch it whilst he was going into the corner, or he was just trying to maybe look around the outside. Watch for some moves as well in turn 7 and 8. It does happen if you're wearing your big boy pants.
Yep, definitely. I mean, this track has some corners that you would like to go for it, but sometimes it would be better to just wait it out a little.
As we now make our way down the back straight, Proddy having a 5-second advantage on the next car, which you can see just ahead of you as you ride on board with short markers. And it's still increasing, a bit less than it was, but it's still increasing. His Nexus moves up into 14th place, started 18th, so making some good progress as we're on the 6th lap and about to go on to the 7th. I have to say, Lee, I'm an advocate if this is what we're going to have all racing all season long with the drivers this close together.
Yeah, I mean, there's not even a second gap until we get to 14th. Between 15th and 14th.
It's brilliant.
Well, first.
It's the one thing as well, Lee, that I love about an F1 game. Towards the end of its cycle, before we talk about that, we're seeing Jasper looking at the inside of turn 6, looking up, go up the inside, but is held off for now. Yeah, the end, sort of the end of the cycle of the game. You see the best racing because everyone's pretty much got a year of racing under their belts. As we see Phil go off in turn 7, between 7 and 8, and now gets back on the 13, 16. Yeah, personally for me, at the end of the game cycle, you see the best amount of racing because they've just had almost a year of practice.
Oh yeah, definitely. It does take a while to get properly used to this, but then again, next game comes out and then
reset buttons hit again.
Exactly. We've seen Jesper looking for a move on Lee Craig, gets forced outside and doesn't manage to make the move. Looked like he actually break that wee bit of lip and looked like he was going to go into the back of Lee Craig, but fortunately that was avoided. Seen the McLarens switching places to each one, being overtaken by Vil.
As I said on the previous lap, it was 5 seconds Proddy's lead and almost up to 6 seconds now, so actually still almost increasingly by a second a lap. But that surely is going to have to stop sooner or later because the tyre will just not allow you to do that kind of pace.
Yep. Yeah, so you notice that it was quite a bit at the start of the race, and then as we've got further and further on, it's just got a wee bit of less and less each lap. We can also see that while these two McLarens are battling it out for 11th, this is all Matty Jones to get right on the gearbox of them.
Yeah, we've got some drivers quite close to the gearbox in the lead pack.
Matty Jones.
Yeah, they both got the DRS and both flashing away as well.
So it's going to be better inside or outside. We'll find out here. Mercedes against the McLaren. Looks like Tidgman's going to have the inside line for the final corner. Is that going to help him? And Matty has no option but to yield. He's going to go for it again around the outside of turns 1 and 2. Keeping that thing glued to the side of the McLaren. Oh, and Tidgman.
Oh, he's
right across, but he's got a wobble there.
A Nexus.
Nexa.
Yeah. Nexa trying to go up the inside. He's trying once again. If only he'd have just let off the brakes a little bit earlier, he might have been able to have the gap to go for it, but he just didn't have the legs on the brakes.
I think this could be the start of the hard tyres starting to come in to it now.
Yeah. Well, 6 seconds now, the gap for the lead. But as I said, has Matthew done the right thing? Just used a lot of the tyre as he's quite far away down the road. It's just a tiny little speck for the Ferrari behind him now. As Lee Craig's had an issue at turn 12 and 13. Fallen down about 5 or 6 places. And now is at the back of this train of cars for 10th place.
In the McLaren, taking advantage of the slipstream and DRS. Moves up into 11th. Now it's on to the next McLaren, who's just a couple of seconds ahead. That one has allowed Matty Jones to get, to create a bit of a gap. Now Tidgman is coming around the outside at turns 1 and 2 now. But Matty Jones manages to hold off. Is Nexa going to go for a move? And he's having a look. But unfortunately no dice for that one.
Yeah, well, a lot of the time, I've noticed Nexa's way to get past both those drivers.
Yeah, definitely make advantage. Will they two are focusing on each other, just slip up and bang, through you go. A bit like, I think it was Hamilton that done it at Silverstone.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking of.
Was it Leclerc?
Perez and Leclerc, yeah.
Yeah, we've got to say, good overtake there.
It was very good. We might be seeing another good overtake here. Actually, I think AJ Baker actually was ahead. I think that was actually some good defence there from AJ. I believe he was ahead. As we see Tej. Likely to be getting around again. If he keeps it up though, it would turn in to the inside, but it's a difficult task to pursue. Trying to make that move around the outside to make it stick into turn 3. As he might try it at turn 6. No, just let him know he's still right on his gearbox. Of course, he's well aware of that, but he's just trying to pull him off. Maybe think he's going for that late lunge, and then just, thank you very much, and the door is wide open for you to make that move. But of course, a lot of drivers are aware of that little tactic. It happens so often in races, so often in a race. So it's just a bit of a habit of drivers, I think, now.
Let's see. Looks like that gap hasn't increased much now. It's actually coming down between Matthew and Prodigy.
Yes, it came down to 6 seconds. I've been keeping an eye on it, but then it's been fluttering between 6 seconds and 6.3. So yes, he's not able to improve anymore and get away, but he's managing that pace now and keeping that healthy 6 second advantage, which now is just going under the 6 second margin. We've got a yellow flag. I think that's Lee Craig once again, who's having a pretty poor race, and Bugatti now moving up to 17th. Does lock up a little bit there on the braking and gets away with it with Chicken and Blunt actually making a mistake on exit. on that throttle pedal.
Oh, wait, brakes are enough.
He's very good. So he wasn't having the best of races, and I think frustration may have got the better of him. It does with everyone at some points.
Could possibly be the setup that he's got. It's just not really balanced well for these long and quite precious corners that are here, like turn 15, for example. Just take quite a load on the car. It was quite a high-speed corner.
Yeah. So this will become quite interesting now. Will Matthew be able to hold on to the second place? As Josh McGill is starting to close the gap, and the two Chuckle brothers are switching places. Chuck now in front of Chuckle. So for how much longer? Because he gets a really poor mid-corner there, and now Chuckle just swooshes around, and Matthew now dives into the pit lane, and that means Poddy will probably be doing the same in a lap or two.
And then I saw Josh McGill back into second place now, getting past short Marcus there at the end of the back straight there.
And we'll wait to see where Matthew files out. And it looks like it's going to be 11th place. And he's got Phil just ahead of him. So by that, I think Proddy will come out in about 8th or 9th place if Matthew's come out in 11th. That's my guess.
Yeah, quite possibly. I'll go and have a wee quick look at that. I reckon Prodigy could come out, yep, about 8th, 9th roughly. But we'll have a look at the tyres. All in all, depending on when Phil and Aki hit, could possibly come out in 6th, but we're seeing Aki it's actually spun it, I think.
I think he might have.
From
Yeah,
13.
he's going very slowly down the back straight. Will gaining somewhat is the leader. Now pits. And Chuck will now get to past Chuck again. Josh McGill sets the fastest lap, and that's what he really needs to be doing now. And that's why Proddy has come in, because those lap times on the hard tyres are going to be better. So getting himself
Jones
in now. Matty Jones looks like he's fallen right to the back. So here comes 9th, and Phil and Proddy is now actually in 6th place. There's some other drivers who have pits, and he's got 12 seconds of clean air ahead of him. This is looking pretty good at the moment. It is at about the half point. As we see a bit of weaving from Proddy. Tyres do feel icy coldly for the first sector of a lap when you come out the pit lane.
Oh yeah, definitely. It takes, and the thing is though, you don't want to warm them up too quickly, as the grit at the end will end up falling off quite rapidly if you heat them up too quickly. So you've got to try and be a little bit cautious when heating them up. You want to make them last that a little bit longer and get the grip at the end.
Yeah.
Got to take care of them.
It is going to be interesting to see as well now with Proddy in 6th place. Obviously he's got loads of clear air ahead of him. He's got 2.5 seconds of space behind him. And seeing what happens with this front two. They're pulling each other along with DRS as well, which can be crucial in a race. It can gain you quite some time over even a handful of laps. He was 6 seconds ahead thereabouts when Proddy dived into the pit lane. This could be a bit closer than you think if these two pit at the right time, especially going on to the medium tyre. They'll be on the better tyre towards the end. They'll be quicker than potentially be quicker than Proddy was at the start with the aid of not having so much fuel on board. So the car's always getting lighter, it's burning off the fuel, and you'll be on the better tyres. So this is what these two are really hoping for. And maybe for this lap or two is so crucial, especially with the first lap of Proddy, the other Aston Martin, Proddy, having the cold tyres for sort of the first third or half a lap. Seeing where these two come in and how much tyre they've got left as well for their own laps. It could get quite close towards the end of the race.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so Prodigy is 18.2 seconds, just say 18 seconds behind the leader right now. So it depends on if he's able to hold that gap, then he could possibly move into the lead.
Yeah, well, I think if they pit at the right time, they could come out sort of 6 seconds behind Proddy. It'd be much better if it was more towards the 4 seconds. And then they're on the medium tyre, and as we see, Proddy set the fastest lap, so he knows he needs to crack on. He has gained 2 seconds on the next car, AJ Baker, so that time definitely coming down in terms of the next car. Hopefully AJ, in Proddy's case, will pit and give him a little bit more clean air ahead. But when do these two pit lead? It's got to be in the next lap or two.
Either that, or what could possibly happen is we could see them possibly stretch it out, but it looks like...
I don't think the softs are very good at all anymore as a race tyre. I don't think it's usually really much of an option.
You never know. It is always an option, but like you said, it could just possibly be just better sticking to the hards and the mediums.
Short Marcus now gaining ever more. He's gained somewhat to get alongside, but it just has a bit of a wobble in the mid-corner and has to fall back into second place. They're both staying out for another lap. I think we've seen an Alfa Romeo there, a chuckle, diving in on the hard tyre, so we should see the top two come in very, very soon. Next lap or two, that's for sure, because otherwise they won't have the laps left to claw back the time they need to, as Proddy's gained another 2 seconds on AJ Baker, so he will definitely be catching up. Well, we'll just actually have a look. We don't have to guess. We can look. He's now 16 seconds. Yeah, another 2 seconds lost. I think, personally, obviously, they don't know it. And Short Marcus has spun. The champion has done a 360. He's took a leaf out of Max Verstappen's book. He managed, I think he put the foot on the throttle just to get it turned all the way back round. So he's lost a position. He's lost 5 seconds, but it could have been a lot worse. He's now, it might be a one-man fight now, but Josh McGill now, no question, I think he's got to pick this lap now, probably knowing that Short Marcus is just spun behind him.
Yeah, I would say it would be now is the perfect opportunity to pit for him. We'll do a quick look at the tyres, as it's only the top 4 and 13th place chicken in once. Oh yeah, and Phil in 7th that haven't hit yet. Oh, forget 11th.
He does now come into the pits. Hear the front tyres screeching as he goes around the left-hander into the pit lane. Chuck is also in the pits. Short Marcus goes through. He has to try and claw back some of that time he just lost somehow. So he's going to have to stay out again. As Proddy comes through. Josh is now just towards the end of the pit lanes. Proddy goes into turn 1. How many seconds is Josh going to be behind Proddy? It's 6 seconds. So it's pretty much exactly what it was when Josh entered the pits about 5 laps ago. Always. Matthew's now spun.
Matthew.
He's having such a good race. It's been a bit of a curse for him on F122 for what we've seen with Matthew in spinning, unfortunately.
Yep, I would say that, but we've still got Bugatti and Chicken Once still on
Oh, Proddy! He's made a mistake. He's made a big mistake. He slipped. I suppose you couldn't find any results as we see Proddy a sort of semi-spin around turn 10. He got the opposite lock on, was able to save it, but luckily that time's come down by 2 seconds by that one mistake in one corner.
Yep, that's going to allow Josh to catch right up there, and being on the medium compound tyres, his tyres will be up to at least a decent temperature by now. So we can see that time coming down quite a little bit more every so often. We've seen Short Marcus into the pits now. Josh McGill goes past. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Chuckle going past as well.
And Chuck. Yeah, Matthew maybe also as well, as he's trying to go around the outside. He's got the warmed up tyres, so he's going to be at the advantage here, even though he's on the harder compound. But it looks like he's got through. That is not going to please Short Marcus, and his tyres now just starting to get up to temperature. But as Lee said, don't really want to be pushing the tyres too much in this first lap, because it'll really hurt you at the end of the race.
Yep, definitely, but this gap here between Josh McGill and Prodigy is down by about 1.5 seconds within just the first half of the oval lap. So we're down to 3.5 seconds. I could see an overtake possibly happening by lap 20 for the lead. But we'll have to just wait and see how things are going to be coming out by then. Seeing Short Marcus keeping to the back of Matthew. He's going to have DRS, but he's sticking in that slipstream. You can already see him gaining on him. He's not even having to use any battery. Just slips past, easy as, slops back in, onto the brakes. Oh no, Matthew is coming back.
Yeah, loses the place as Josh McGill sets the fastest lap. It's under 3 seconds now. A bit cheeky lead to pull back in front right before the braking zone.
Nah.
No.
Depends on how, if it's
I wouldn't have personally been too happy about that. But
depends on if it's like pull and brake like that quick, then you're just like, But hey ho.
Yeah, so 2.5 seconds now, Lee. So it's looking like if Josh can keep himself squeaky clean and keep it on the black stuff, he's going to catch up to the back of Proddy in a matter of 2 or 3 laps.
Yep, definitely. And then with the aided DRS, that will be a piece of cake. I would say as he's on softer tyres anyway, the medium yellow bolt compound Pirellis.
But of course, like we said about Proddy on his first stint on the medium tyre, they will drop off eventually.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I think if I was in Josh's position right now, I think I would push to get within DRS and just sit behind for a few laps, just preserve your tyre a little bit, lift off, give yourself a bit more grip towards the end, and then with a few laps to go, you see usually most races push to try and get the win.
I mean, it could be a good idea, but at the same time, Short Marcus putting in the fastest lap of the race. Matthew is out. So he retired on the pitch? No, he hasn't. Is it? Yep, it's a safety car.
Oh, that's changed everything. Matthew and we see Tej reacting instantly in 5-second penalty, severe collision.
Yeah, I think what's happened is he's got a bit too much on
Drive
that
through
pit.
penalty for Chuckle.
Oh!
Drive through penalty for the man in third place, the Thursday champion, which of course we'll be back tomorrow night with that. He's got himself a drive through, so that will promote pretty much what it will. I think it'll promote the whole field.
Yeah, essentially. I mean, well, we're waiting to go and get it. He's going to have to wait until the safety car is over with before he serves that penalty. And I think he can't really do it on his first lap, so he's going to have to wait until the safety car's been in and he's done one full lap before he could go in and serve his penalty.
Yeah, and this is a tricky point in this race now, Lee. I think it's the amount of laps where I don't think it's worth the risk to try and go on the softs. I think, especially with the front drivers towards the front, I think track position is key here. I think Josh McGill will do whatever Proddy does, and he stays out. So I think he'll do which he does the same. Is it worth Chuckle pitting? He does pit.
Yes, I think it is worth that, but then Chuck stays out, Scott Marcus out, Jay Baker, what's he going to do? He's coming in. Jesper.
But then as soon as we see one of those, there's a big chain reaction. As soon as the one person does it, it usually makes a decision for most of the drivers behind.
Yep. Definitely.
So are these drivers all going to go on the softs? I'm almost sitting here, and I think that is Chuckle on the soft tyre. That's to be expected. Those soft medium tyres for AJ Baker, medium tyres for Jasper.
No, it's medium for Chuckle as well.
Oh, it's interesting. Because we're going to have a lap or two of this safety car, 100%.
Yeah, I mean...
I think the soft tyres would have been the call now, to be honest. I think it's worth the risk. If you're going to pit, I didn't think it was worth the risk to pit, but if you are going to pit, I think soft tyres was the way to go. But of course, we've had 3 qualifying sessions as well. Actually, probably no one will have a fresh set. Actually, that might make a big difference.
Fair point, actually. Yep.
So Proddy hasn't pit, and he has just got a wall of yellow behind him, Lee, up until Faulkner. And then behind him, it's more medium tyres again.
Yep, so they're the only 2 not on the medium tyres, which is going to be interesting.
Well, of course, I'm not sure. I said Lee might have seen the driver lineup. Nice Job Mate's not in this season, I'm guessing.
Nope, it doesn't appear so.
That's a shame. So maybe Proddy might. And Nice Job Mate wasn't the Aston Martin mate last season. Sorry. So he's almost took his place, Lee. We've still got Josh McGill up there. We've still got Short Marcus up there. Chuckle. I don't really have to say anything about that, do we? It's very normal. Obviously, Chuckle is going to drop all the way to the back, unfortunately. But yeah, Phil. Don't understand why Phil just pit. Oh, has he got penalties? He had a penalty, sir, and he's got on the soft tyre.
Which I would say would be quite a nice move for him, as he's like right at the back end, so not much to lose. May as well just go for it, take the risk.
Chicken and Blunt's got an awful long way to catch up. An awful long way.
Yeah, and Chuckle won't be liking that, to be honest. He'll just be wanting this race to get on so you could get as many points as you can.
Yes, the more laps we do under the safety car, the more frustrating it'll be for Paul Chuckle, definitely. Obviously, that he's sort of on the back foot now, but he's more and more on that back foot, the more laps we stay out.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, that drive through is going to hinder him, and it's going to be probably dropping to the back by about 10 seconds, so he's going to have to be clawing back quite a lot and then try and make it the most that he can. Try and take advantage of every mistake that the drivers in front of him will be making.
So, Lee, I really do think that the soft tyre would have been the tyre of choice now. We're going to have another lap under the safety car.
Yep, so we'll only have
5 laps.
5 laps of pure racing, really.
Yeah.
So it's not exactly much.
I know we've had quite a few laps under the safety car, but what do you think? It would have been, what, between 7 and 10% on the soft tyres now at the end of the safety car? Of wear, I mean?
Possibly, yeah. I mean, we're still seeing a bit of shininess on that tyre, so still a little bit fresh anyway.
Yeah, and with 5 laps, sorry, they would have lasted that, no problem. But of course, medium tyre will still be a good tyre, especially with most drivers on the same tyre. There is an equal, but apart from Phil, no one else is thought to sort of seize that opportunity of the soft tyre. 5 laps is a decent amount of laps, especially with the 3 laps of DRS, and we will get the 3 laps of DRS down the back straight. Almost rubbing my hands together at this.
Yep, definitely. As we see, quite a bit of a gap between second and third there. Should kind of backing up a little in Ferrari.
And just a bit of a mention at the moment, Lee. Faulkner up 10 places in 6th place. So he's been having a very good race.
Yep, he's managed to just keep out of danger and just race at his own pace, which has worked out quite well for him.
Yeah, the hard tyres though may be a hindrance for him for the final 5 laps, as we start seeing the snake of cars appear, with them all warming up their tyres and obviously probably dictating the pace. It will be interesting to see when he decides to release the hounds and get us underway for the last 5 laps. I would presume it'll be quite late, because you won't want Josh McGill getting any advantage over him as they go towards turn 1. He knows he's at a disadvantage now as he makes his way around the final corner. We get back underway. Josh McGill has not been shaken by that restart, and he's trying to go up the inside as we lose a driver at the final corner as they go side by side through turn 1, and the Aston Martin holds on, and in the lead he stays, with Josh having to settle for 2nd place as we go through turn 3 and on towards turn 4. We've got a yellow flag in sector 3. That is this man's teammate, Proddy, as Jasper is out of the race.
Yeah, I went and seen it around turn 1 that Josh McGill just got that a little bit too much on the curve. He got squeezed right into the apex. Sorry,
there is short Marcus now trying to go around the outside of Chuck, which will turn into the inside. So watch for an overtake at turn 7 and 8, and you've had one just there on the opening lap after the safety car as we go down towards turn 11. Probably going to have to have the defence of the season, I think, is Matty Jones in that Mercedes, and the McLaren and the Haas are all jostling for that 11th place as we now make our way down the back straight. No DRS, of course, but Phil crucially on that soft tyre, which is turning out to be the optimal tyre probably for the final laps of this race. And now he's up into 11th place, and only a second between him and his teammates. His teammate just going to let him go.
I think that would be the better call. We've seen Chico in the pits to serve his drive-through penalty.
And his brother,
Chuck and Short Marcus, battling it out around turn 1.
Switcheroo it turn 2 from the Ferrari driver. He hasn't got it done just yet. Is it a double switcheroo? No, he tries to hold it around the outside. He now might get it on the exit. Short Marcus had a waggly tail on that Williams. And as we go down into turn 6, is there going to be a lunge from the Ferrari? No, not just yet. As we won't have DRS for another lap. So he's going to have to hold on to the back, as well as we're seeing from Josh McGill at the moment, almost a lion hunting his prey.
Yep, Josh McGill has got everything there he needs. But Prodigy is just sitting there nicely in first place, holding on.
As Inexa is spun at turn 8. Looks like he may be overtaken by Chuck in a few moments as well. He's done his drive-through penalty. As Proddy is round at turn 13. He's now down in 5th, 6th, 7th place. Now 8th place. He's going to be outside the top 10. Down in 12th, 13th now for Proddy. He's going to be absolutely kicking himself. And Josh McGill now takes the lead. The drivers that came first and second in the championship are reversed towards the end of this race. The man who finished in second is leading the race, and we'll have potentially another championship battle to contend with Short Marcus for season 11.
Yep, you've got to say, nicely done there from Josh McGill, exerting that pressure onto that Aston Martin of Prodigy, enough for him to make a mistake, as he knew that Josh McGill was on the better tyres. But we're seeing Vil making a move on Faulkner, who's on them old hard compound tyres. Nicely done there from the McLaren, moving up into 5th place. But now Aki's taking a shot at the Alpha Tauri, but he's been attacked from Bugatti behind. So we're seeing everyone trying to jostle in for position here, just trying to make take advantage of any mistake that the drivers in front are making. We've got Phil still on them soft compound tyres, which I don't think will be lasting all that much longer.
And of course, if we didn't say at the start of the lap, DRS is now enabled, and Short Marcus looks like he's going to have that DRS, and Josh McGill weaving from right to left down the back straight as he's trying to break that toe, and Phil moves up more positions, and Bugatti, his teammate, has dropped down positions. Looks like he's spun at turn 13. And Phil on the soft tyres making excellent gains in the final laps as Faulkner fights with the McLaren and the Alfa Romeo, but has fallen back to 7th place on those hard tyres.
Yep, Phil managing actually did quite a good call as he's got Faulkner just ahead of him on the
Chuckle has spun at turn 13 as well. I did say it almost goes again at turn 13. He's got a lot of grass on those tyres and not going to have the grip that he desires as we now make our way out of turn 4 and towards the kink at turn 5. Got a nice queue of cars as Tej thought about the outside, and then that route was cut off for him and he had to get on the brakes as he now tries to go around the outside, half of his McLaren on the grass as he went into the corner at turn 7 and stays in 9th place at the moment.
Still seeing this queue from 5th all the way down to 12.
Yes, it's impressive. It really does.
Titchman going for a move at turn 11 on the inside of Phil, but he gets too much on the curb. And now this is leaving him vulnerable to Matty, who spins and
oh no!
From the Prodigy, and then that's all chicken and blunts through up into 10. So now Nexa is going to get past.
Aki's going to go, sorry Lee, Aki's going to have a go at Vil on the outside. They've clashed and bang wheels as they turn in to turn 14. He gets run wide and Aki has to stay in 6th place.
Don't think the Alfa Romeo driver's going to be too happy about that, as he was left no space on the outside of that corner, so now he's going to switch to the inside, and now
oh no, we've got Faulkner that spun and took Tej with him.
Oh,
chaos on the final lap, and it's not the first time I've ever seen commentating some drama at that first corner in the last lap of a race. And as we go towards the front, Short Marcus now just trying to extend his lead so he doesn't have any pressure into turn 14 for the final time today.
Oh, Chuckle fastest lap, 134. He's thought if he can't get any major points, he may as well steal the fastest lap.
So, with Short Marcus not getting the DRS, I really do think now that it's in the bag for Josh McGill as he makes his way around the last few corners of this Shanghai International Circuit. He came second last season by a hair's whisper, but this season he starts as he means to go on and he wins the Chinese Grand Prix with Short Marcus coming home in second and Chuck home in third. They crash into each other as they cross the line. AJ Baker for a solid 4th place, and 5th was Aki. And I have to say, they're talking about starting as we mean to go on. Let's hope the races are like this as well, because that was a cracking first race.
Oh yeah, definitely. And then, yeah.
As we're seeing some drivers having a drastic slide across the finish line.
So now we've just got to wait on the Alfa Romeo Chuckle. Yep.
As he's definitely in a place where I wouldn't expect him to be into the final few corners. But it's,
I think he just got a bit unlucky with that safety car.
Yeah, as he makes his way around the final corner. He's going to finish off a race with a couple of donuts to cheer himself up, or a donut. And that's it for our first round of 10 in the next 11 weeks.
Phil getting the driver of the day.
I honestly, I know we do our own personal driver of the day, and I was going to say Phil actually with that strategy he had at the end.
Yep, definitely. It was totally out of the blue, and it actually paid off for him.
Yeah, gained a healthy amount of position. So, as always, Lee, do you want to do the final order?
Yep. So, Josh McGill getting that P1. Short Marcus in second. Chuck in third. AJ Baker came home in fourth. Fifth was Aki Vil in sixth. Phil in seventh. Managing to do that alternate strategy at the end compared to everyone else. Prodigy in eighth, just got a little bit unlucky near the end. Tidgman in ninth. Faulkner 10th. Chicken and Blunts 11th. Nixa in 12th. 13th was Matty Jones. 14th Bugatti, and Chuckle was 15th. Jesper got a bit unlucky at the safety car restart and went right into the wall at the final corner. Matthew and Lee Craig didn't finish either, so that rounds it out for the end of the Chinese Grand Prix for round one.
Yeah, and as I said, it was a top race actually. It was close throughout. The safety car was a nice addition for a change actually. It just sort of brought a bit of spice out in the final quarter of the race, or a bit less than that. Yeah, so it was a really good one. I think I said earlier on, we're at Zandvoort next week for the Dutch Grand Prix, and we will be back with you tomorrow night. So we do double headers from now on. And do you know what's tomorrow, Lee? 'Cause I now know.
Ooh, what's tomorrow?
It is the Belgian Grand Prix.
Ooh.
So we've got a bit of Spa.
Nice.
Spa is usually always a very good one to start. And I don't know why. I mean, Monday, I've got nothing wrong with Monday. Most of the guys who race today racing Monday as well. But starting with Hungary was not a good idea. China, brilliant idea. Belgium, brilliant idea. I won't name who made the calendar. Chuckle. And the week after that, we got Brazil. Actually, Lee, the first 5 rounds are bangers. The last races on F122 in Thursdays are bangers. Shall I just let you know before the end of the stream? Let everyone know the first 5 races of tomorrow. Belgium. Mm-hmm. Actually, wait there. You know Belgium. Just quickly at the end of the stream, not that you usually do anything like this, but what tracks would you like it to be? Last 4. Give me your 4. Let's see how many are there. First one's on the top of your head that you like.
Well, of course, Belgium. Monza.
Yeah.
Japan.
Yeah.
Australia.
Yeah.
And Turkey, but that's not in the game. God knows what the last thing would be.
It's how you not give me an answer because none of those were right.
Oh.
We've got Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
Then Bahrain.
Oh, how could I forget Bahrain?
And then Miami.
Oh, spicy.
And then Portimao.
Nice one.
Yeah, I thought they're all pretty good ones. The whole season's pretty good. And then you got Abu Dhabi on 23. Italy. We're back for China again. Then Monza. And then Las Vegas is the final race.
Ooh.
First time that me and Leo have ever done that.
I do agree that it is a very good idea to leave it until the last race. Let everyone get a little bit acquainted to it.
Well, I'm doing on Monday, I'm doing the La Salle circuit for like round 9 or 8 or something like that.
Oh, I forgot that was going to be on next game.
Yeah, so it's Vegas and Qatar, the 2 new tracks.
Sweet. Including,
obviously, as I said, Shanghai, Portimao, and France. Anyway, enough chit chat. We don't usually do that. It's actually quite different. So we will see you again tomorrow for the Belgium Grand Prix. We'll see you again next Wednesday evening, same time, same place, at 8 o'clock. And, sorry, before you go, because I did promise to do it, so just bear with me 2 seconds. So, if you want to watch Monday's races, the channel is, obviously, you see short Marcus. It's Marcus Short, and that's all you need to type in, Marcus Short. So if you want to watch Monday's races, check out his channel on a Monday, same time at 8 o'clock. And obviously, if you're checking out Wednesdays and Thursdays, it's us with LGE. And so watch out for RTG Moments of the Week video. That will probably be happening starting next week for week 1. Obviously, we're a week behind. Sorry, anyway, thank you very much for watching today. Please like and subscribe. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and check us out tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. It's goodbye from me and from Elias.
Peace out.